Hello everybody and welcome to this amazing guide of Dead by Daylight where we'll cover everything we can about the key item. This guide will go over all the basics as well as any advanced tactics to using a key that might inform you of a few things you may or may not have known. We also got numbers. Yes, lovely numbers. So let's answer the basics first. What does the key item do? The key provides two separate functions. Its primary function is to unlock the black lock, and a black lock is mainly known as the trapdoor or hatch within the community. Typically this door is used as a last chance for the survivor to escape if they're the last one alive, but with a key you can open this early for multiple survivors to escape, or you just get out the back way by yourself. So first let's take a look at the black lock and what it is. It's pretty much the trapdoor that you see that spawns during gameplay or at the end of the game when you're alone. Typically, to get this to even spawn before you can even open it, you must have generators fixed equal to the amount of living survivors plus 1. Therefore, if all survivors are alive, 5 generators must be fixed in order for the trapdoor to even spawn in order to use the key. As survivors die, then this number drops for every survivor dead. Therefore, you can still leave a little early, but you won't be able to get all 4 of you out. Once this black lock spawns, again, the trapdoor, the key can be used and consumed completely in order to jump into the hatch. By using the key, the player will instantly jump in and escape. This will leave the door open for 30 seconds for any other survivor to take advantage of the opening. If there is only one more survivor remaining when you leave through the trapdoor, then the trapdoor will remain open for the remainder of the game until that survivor dies or escapes. There are a few things to keep in mind when using the key for this purpose. First, you are not unstoppable when using the key to jump in. Just as you would normally if you jumped through the trapdoor without the key as long as it was open, a killer can interrupt your escape and put you on his shoulder. However, if you get caught trying to use the key, your key will not be used, and instead it will shut the trapdoor once again. Therefore, no one else can take advantage of your key escape. So it's very important that if you are the first one out, in order to open that door, you cannot get caught. If you're hit going down, that will not stop you, but being caught will completely reverse the progress of opening the trapdoor. Also, you cannot use the key while in dying status. Normally you can escape through the hatch while in dying status, but this only applies if the hatch is already open. You are unable to use the key while on the floor. So if an ally opens the hatch near you with the key, you'll be able to jump in. However, you won't be able to open the door if you're the one with the key on the floor. So now on to the Mind Channel, the second ability of the key. This function allows you to take use of add-ons you apply to the key to get designated auras to be revealed. There are only 2 types of auras you can reveal, which is the Killer Aura and Survivor Aura. Without the add-ons to track the auras, you will not be able to use Mind Channel at all, and it will only be able to be used to open the black lock. Now, let's go over the different kinds of keys, and so we can better understand the item itself and get some numbers regarding the ranges and uses. First, we have 3 different types of keys. First, the broken key. And unlike the other 2 keys, this key cannot open black locks. This type of key is strictly used for the add-ons. Finding the broken key in a chest or inside game will be absolutely useless to you. However, bringing this item in with a bit of thought can make it useful for the Mind Channel effect. Next, you have the dull key. The major difference between this and the prior one is that it has half the reading time, but it can still open the black lock. This key is used to be sacrificed for opening the black lock as it has poor Mind Channel function, and with how few seconds of use it has, attempting to channel it could possibly break the key. If you use all the mind channeling functionality a key has and it breaks just like any other item that loses its charges. It becomes completely useless. So if you use all your dull key, you will not be able to open the black lock. But in order to open the black lock, it does not matter how many charges you have left on the key. And finally, the skeleton key, the most valuable, sporting a massive 30 seconds of mind channeling and the ability to open black locks. This key is ultra rare, and it makes sense. When having to choose between the 3, attempt to avoid bringing a skeleton key solely for the purpose of opening the trapdoor. Dull keys are for that purpose and are a bit more common. And with a skeleton key, you could possibly have a lot more play using different add-ons to get aura readings while also having the opportunity, if you so choose, to open the door at the risk of losing your ultra rare item. So we talked all about mind channeling and didn't talk about the add-ons. So let's talk about the 2 types of mind channeling we can have, tokens and amber. Tokens are designed to have a function similar to the perk Bond, which is teachable from Dwight. You can read auras of survivors within a certain radius. Ambers, however, give you the opposite. It allows you to see the aura of the killer within a certain radius. Tokens are split into eroded token and gold token. They simply just specify the distance in which this aura reading will work. These tokens do not stack, so bringing both does not increase the distance to 72 meters. You can combine these with Scratch Pearl instead to increase the range of the aura. It's good to note that the gold token has a better reading range than Bond, allowing you to effectively use a better version of available perk for a limited time. This could be helpful to craft a build without having to use a perk slot for Bond if you wish to track your allies. Blood Amber tracks the killer with a heavy drawback. It's an add-on that consumes the charges of the key twice as fast. There are a few things to take note about channeling first. In order to use the ability Mind Channel, you must charge for 1 second. This 1 second charge is consumed from the key regardless if you fully charge it for Mind Channeling or not. Therefore, you can waste an entire charge of a key without actually using it whatsoever by just failing to fully charge it every time. The effects of Blood Amber do not affect this initial charge, only the actual channeling. For example, if we had the broken key of 10 seconds, it would take 1 second to charge the Mind Channel. This would leave 9 seconds on the key. With a Blood Amber, that would only give us 4.5 seconds in order to track the killer before the key breaks. With that out of the way, let's roll it back to the Blood Amber. Though it consumes charges twice as fast, this can have some amazingly powerful effects and can be easy to use since the range it reads is equal to a typical killer's terror radius. Once you have that slight heartbeat, you're capable of channeling the key to see where the killer is and what they're doing. 32 meters matches the general heartbeat of the following killers: Trapper, Uncloaked Wraith, Hillbilly Nurse, Tier 3, Shape or Michael Myers, Doctor, and Cannibal. The following killers have unique effects with this aura reading. Tier 1 Shape or Michael Myers cannot be tracked. The Nightmare can only be tracked in the dream world, and you have to adjust for the Huntresses, Hags, and Shape Tier 2 smaller terror radiuses. Blood Amber can also track a Cloaked Wraith as long as he's in range, and it will also see a nurse while they're blinking. This can be helpful to fully track which direction a nurse is going, or where a sneaky wraith is trying to get around. If the range on aura reading isn't enough, we can always apply a Scratched Pearl. Though it says it increases range moderately, it's actually 11 meters. Open-handed, the teachable perk from Ace, can also increase aura reading by 8 meters, and this does stack. There are 4 more add-ons to keep in mind. Instead of increasing the range, you are also capable of using prayer rope and prayer beads to extend the time. As stated before, you can combine these with open-handed to maximize your mind channeling, with using the prayer beads and rope as time and the open-handed as range. Of course, using Blood Amber will half the time as well, since it does consume it twice as fast. If you're going to use Blood Amber, it is recommended to add prayer beads so you get more use time. You can also use Streetwise, Nia's teachable perk, to help reduce the consumption if you so desire. Otherwise, that's all we can do to extend the range and time of the key. And finally, the last 2 add-ons will help you keep this key safe from death or usage. First, the Milky Glass should only be used if you intend to use the key on the black lock. If used to open the hatch, you will keep the key and lose that add-on instead. Typically, it should remain saved for skeleton keys you're planning to use to unlock black locks. Weaved Ring is the same idea, except it's more like a white ward offering. If you would die with the key in hand, you would not lose said key. And you can combine both of these add-ons at the same time to make it very safe that you keep the item whether you die or whether you use the key. But keep in mind, a Franklin's Demise will make you drop the key and nullify both add-ons if you do not pick that key back up. The key items are most powerful when you bring them into a trial with a plan for usage. Typically, I bring broken keys with Blood Amber to track the killer. It has made some interesting plays as I use prayer beads to increase the life of that 10-second broken key. As some random bits of knowledge to wrap this up, if you're an achievement hunter, you'll need a key to perform the Where Did They Go achievement. You'll need to fix all 5 generators with all 4 survivors still alive. I suggest bringing a map with the add-on to track the black locks, and someone else with a key to open the door. Once the door is open, have all 3 remaining survivors jump through. A bit of a side note, whether this is a glitch or not, whether or not the survivor actually makes it through and the killer stops them is irrelevant. As long as they made the action to jump in, it should count towards the achievement. And there you go, everything about the key I can get for you. If you found this guide helpful at all, let me know in the comments down below and hit that like button. I'll be re-looking into all of the Dead by Daylight guides I've done and assure my guides are up to date and make some new bits for all the new players joining and all the different rules that Dead by Daylight offers. I also need to apologize that this key guide took so long. There was a lot of factors that stopped me from making it every day, and I am months behind. Mostly because I was considering redoing all my guides from scratch. There's been so many patches and updates to the game that I feel that a straight tutorial needs to be made, being there are none for the game anymore. So with your support, please subscribe and I will be doing my best to release these far more often. If you wish to support what I do, please visit the Patreon down below. Everybody in Patreon gets my guide videos 5 days early compared to everyone else. I'll do my best to keep these as regular as possible, and the more Patreon I have, the more I can put effort towards this. I'll make sure you guys have the most up-to-date guides you can get on Dead by Daylight and your favorite games, and as always, good game.